Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and today I am going to show you guys my game plan for growing tons of green beans in my Dollar Tree stackables. So that's right, all of those stackable planters that everybody rushed to the Dollar Tree to get, I am going to grow tons of green beans in them. So when most people think about growing green beans, they think this. They think finding plants that are going to need a trellis to grow up in order to grow tons of green beans. And in some cases like this one, that's the case. And to be honest, in the beginning, that's how I thought all green beans grew too as well, since that's the only way I've ever seen them grown. But there's something that is more magical than like anything else, and that can grow you tons of green beans, and every small space gardener should be growing them. They are bush beans. And bush beans come in several different types. But before we get into which bush beans I'm growing, I want to answer one of your questions, since this is a how-to video. So the desert has warmed up a lot this past 2 days, and everybody is asking me, what am I doing different for my garden right now? And I want to tell everybody that make sure you are checking your weather report. Every year the desert goes through this thing, what I like to call fake spring. It has a fake fall and it has a fake winter. It kind of does it to where it's super warm or super cold, and then it just fakes us out and goes back to the original temperature. So what I want to tell you guys to do is, for your frost tender things like your lettuces, your cabbages, different things like that that have not already bolted, make sure you just cover them with some type of shade cloth. You can use just your regular tunnel fabric, like that fabric that's over my row cover. You can use that, or you can use your actual shade cloth that you will be using when it's summertime. So, but you don't want to freak out and think that you need to pull all your vegetables, think that it's time for them to go, because it's not. In another couple of days, I think we have 2 days of it being 89 and 86 degrees outside, which today is going to be 89, so it's going to be a little warm. It's going to go right back down to the 60s and 70s, and it's going to stay there for the next couple of weeks. So you still have time for your winter type vegetables. Don't freak out, don't pull them. So now let's get back to planting beans. So I have a ton of beans here that I am going to be planting in my stackables. Now when it comes to bush beans, you want to kind of stagger them. So all of the stackables that I had open, which is 12 or 13 I believe, I'm going to plant just a round of different bush beans. And then all the ones that have my things that I'm going to be pulling, like my bok choy and my spinach and my lettuce, and I still have a little bit more time on those, then I'm going to plant those in the next couple of weeks, so that then I don't get all my green beans at the same exact time, which won't be a bad thing if you're planning on canning, but I don't know if I'm gonna have the energy to can all of them at the same time, or if we're just gonna want to eat a lot of them fresh. So, but the plan is to grow enough to where I can eat fresh and we have them, and then when we get tired of them, keep having them coming in, so then we can can them. So what do I have going on here? Now there are tons of different types of varieties of bush beans. I have the Royal Purple. Now I have the Royal Purple by Burpee, which is the organic one. And then I also have another one by the botanical ones, the Botanical Interest. These are the ones you can get at Whole Foods or different places like that. And then I also have Big Kahuna. These are one of my favorites because the Big Kahunas, they will grow a ton of beans. So if you want a really heavy producer, Big Kahuna is where it's at. My all-time favorite is the Dragon Tongue Bush Bean. This has the most amazing green bean flavor, and it's the most unique green bean you can ever grow. So I will grow a ton of these. And then I'm also going to be growing some Burpee stringless green beans. These are nice because they don't have the string that you'll have to, when you're snapping your green beans, pull that thick string out of there. These ones don't have that. So when you're trying to just be in a rush and just grab whatever, it makes life a lot easier. I'm gonna also grow the tried and true Blue Lake bush bean. If you can't grow a single bush bean in your backyard, grow this one. It will grow for you perfectly and you won't have really any issues with it. And the last one I'm going to grow is the tenderette. Now these are ones that I was going to try last fall, and these were the first ones to get eaten by the rats. So I'm going to try them for the spring. So let's talk about different things you can grow bush beans in, just in case you didn't get your stackable planters. Now, bush beans can grow in really, really condensed places. In fact, you can grow multiple plants in a normal size, like just kind of regular run-of-the-mill pot. I, for instance, grew bush beans in all of these different locations. The first time I ever grew bush beans was actually right here where I have my lemon balm. Now my lemon balm has completely taken over and cannot grow anything else but lemon balm each year. But I grew bush beans and they would grow to about this tall, and in this one little square thing I fit 5 bush bean plants. Also, before knowing that Malabar spinach was amazing, I grew bush beans in this side of the cylinder. So I have this side that it's holding the big wood piece to hold my shade cloth, and this side was open. So I grew 3. I grew 3 big kahuna bush plants in here. And they got to about that tall, and they bushed out to where you couldn't even see the cinder block, but they were covered in green beans. I have also grown bush beans on the empty side of my patio arch trellis. So I will grow whatever I'm growing that is going to be trellising on this side, and then I grew bush beans on this side. And I was able to fit in probably somewhere around 8 bush bean plants right here, and they grew phenomenally. And if all else fails and you don't have any pots to put your bush beans in, just grow them like you'll grow radishes. Throw those seeds everywhere, in between everything, and they'll just pop up and grow you tons of bush beans. So here's my plan on how I'm going to be planting them. So 1, make sure you fill your dirt up all the way to the top. So as tall as you can get it. For all of these, I actually use a full bag of soil. Now you want to make sure that there's enough dirt in your pot, but you also want to make sure that once these are stacked, that they can still have enough room to like get sun. You don't want like them to be buried down here to where that's preventing them from getting sun, and also them being on the opposite side of where the sun is, because the sun still isn't at like its very high peak until it gets closer to the summer. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to plant 2 bush bean plants per little section. 1 that's just going to make sure I have germination, and 2, technically you could just leave it there. I might thin it out depending on how bushy they start to get, but you could just leave it there. When it comes to the one that's on the top, I'm going to plant 2 per, and then I'm going to plant 2 in the middle too as well. I'm going to put them kind of like a little bit of a distance, so there's like 1 here and 1 here, so they're not touching. So I have a little dibbler, which, I mean, you don't have to have one, that's just my little garden flex, and I am going to make 2 holes in each area. I'm going to make this one my top, so I'm going to put 2 holes right there in the middle too as well. And this is going to be beautiful, guys, when it bushes out. For those of you guys that thought that the bok choy looked pretty when it filled out, and it pretty much just like, you couldn't even tell it was in a stackable, it just looked like a big tower of bok choy, this is going to be really pretty because it's going to have the beans kind of flowing over it too as well. So we're just going to go ahead and plant those. Now you want to plant them pretty much the size of the seed is what I always go with. If it's, or pretty much the size of the seed where you can cover just a little bit of the top of it, because you don't want to plant them too deep, but you also don't want to plant them too shallow. And if you have, the smaller the seed, the less soil you need to be covering the top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and just pack those in a little bit. You don't want to pack them in, but just cover them enough to where they are protected and they can fully grow. Now, when it comes to stacking these right now, that's what I'm not going to do. I want my bush beans to kind of grow straight versus already reaching for the sun, because I want their stems to be as strong as possible. And when it comes to stackable planters, everything is going to be reaching for the sun in the beginning. Now, you could start your bush beans inside, but bush beans grow so quickly that you really don't need to do that. It's not necessary. So my plan is to lay all of these out on the patio so that then all of the bush beans grow nice and straight. And then once they have kind of met the sun and grown maybe like a leaf or two, like true leaves, then I'm going to start stacking them and then just rotating them each day when I come out to water. So that is the game plan, and it's just simple as that, guys. Alright guys, so I'm actually filming this part after I got done filming the video, and that's because when I opened the soil, I noticed that it was really, really wet. And what that breeds is fungus gnats. Thanks, Home Depot! So as I'm planting my seeds, I noticed that there are a couple of fungus gnats just flying around. And what you don't want is fungus gnats eggs. Say that like 20 times. Because each fungus gnat will breed like 3,000 or 30,000 or some ridiculous amount of eggs. So what I'm going to do is I planted all of my seeds, and I am going to put some cinnamon on the top of them. The other thing you can do as well, if you haven't already planted your seeds, and probably what I should have done was just filled all of the pots and then laid a tarp over them and let the great old Arizona sun just kill all of the fungus gnats. But you can also do this as well, because cinnamon is a natural killer of fungus. So I'm going to go ahead, sprinkle the cinnamon on top of this, and I'm going to really make sure I leave this out in the Arizona sun today, because it's going to be 89 degrees, which should hopefully kill anything and at least dry off that top layer of soil. And that's going to be the other thing I'm going to do. I'm not going to water these at least for the next day or two, just because I want to make sure that top layer is dried off. The seeds are tucked down below that top layer, so they'll be fine. So just for a reference for you guys and me, this is what it looks like. I just put a little sprinkle of cinnamon on top of each one of the planters. I can already see the fungus gnats that are flying starting to fly away because they do not like the smell. And then also the cinnamon will help kill any type of fungus that is already in the soil, because it is an antifungal. So you could keep all the varieties the same and just grow each tower to grow certain things, but I want a ton of different types. I'm going to throw them all in a pan and saute them anyway, so I'm just going to grow them separately and probably not be able to save the seeds. Not really 100% sure on that, but I will double check, and if anybody else knows the answer to that, put that down below if you can grow them close together and still be able to save the seeds, because I'm not really 100% sure if it's self-pollinated or if it's pollinated by bees. I know bees love it, but sometimes, you know, things like tomatoes, bees love too, and they're also self-pollinated. So if you know the answer to that question, please pop it down below for me. So until next time, guys, make sure you guys are planning out your gardens, growing as much as possible, because even a small space can grow you tons of food. Thanks, guys.